Hey everybody, it's Tom Lehman, the author of Level Par. I'm very excited to introduce the Level Par podcast. In the first episode, we interviewed Director of Golf of Velocity Golf Academy, Tom Cavicchi. He is my golf coach, and he's also a major inspiration behind one of the main characters for Level Par. I hope you enjoy our first episode, and there will be many more to come in the future. Do you have an idea of how many people you might have coached in your entire career?
No. So full-time, I've been doing it, for 35, 40 years, and before that was part-time. But, if I do 1,000 a year at times, or a little bit more than that when I was busy, so quite a few people.
Yeah.
Quite a few. You touch people, I'll give you an example of this fellow that I went to Oyster Harbors, and he was the first lesson I gave there, and I still teach him. So that was almost 40 years ago. 40 years.
Yeah. How's the golf change? How's the golf swing change for him?
He had a terrible grip, so that he always remembers I changed his grip. And now he has gone from a very, very strong, he had a very, very strong grip, and then we changed it to a weaker type of grip. And now he's gravitated to a weaker grip, and he hits a fade, and he goes, would I have been better to stay the other way? And I go, we don't know. We can't go back there. But people want to always go back and forth.
Sure.
What should I do? Should I change this? And we don't know. But that's a 40-year example over, it's not every year, but it would be every few years. He came back a couple of times this year, that type of thing.
Is there like a one thing that you kind of notice, a similarity between golfers that come and see you? I mean, every swing is different, but is there a mindset that somebody has where they're like, I want to come see you because I want to get better? Do they need that to even really start thinking about how to get better at this game?
So most people walk in the door, the first question I ask them is, what do you want? And they have no idea. They can't answer the question. So there's a Dr. Mark Bull, he's a biomechanist in England. He said, if you ask the right questions, you're usually ahead of the game. So I try and ask questions about, okay, what'd you do as a kid? How'd you learn? What sports did you play? Fellow I had yesterday played lacrosse in college, yet he swings the club 130 miles an hour, and he couldn't do exactly what he wanted to do, but when we talked him through playing lacrosse and throwing a ball and doing things, he could sort of put the two together. And that's what I'm looking for. How do I cross-reference what they have? A woman coming in Tuesday, she was a high-level tennis player. She played professionally. So I gravitate to tennis, topspin, things like that, things that she'll understand. I'll give you a good one. I had a woman come in, and she never really, I said, do you hit anything in your life? She's 60-something years old. She said, no, I don't hit things. And I said, well, what sport did you play? Well, I played badminton, and she was a good badminton player. So immediately we go there about wrist. She had good wrist. She wasn't using her wrist. Once I got her to use her wrist a little bit more, she figured things out. She could hit the ball, that type of thing. So we're always looking about where does their talent lay? Where is their talent level? What skills do I need to get into their system that would make them be able to hit the ball the way they want to hit the ball? Don't give them too much, but give them enough so they can start developing skills and they feel like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, that type of thing.
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all approach to you where you're like, these are the fundamentals, this is how you swing the golf club. It's more of like, how do I work with your body? How do I work? Because you talk to me about movement so much. Like, how much are you trying to learn? How much are you trying to continue to sharpen your skills as things change and as golf changes?
We could get started on that. It's been a lifelong. So right now I'm very much into the body, into how you do things. So I gravitate to, there's a Thomas Myers, anatomy trains. I look at that. I learn from that. I learned from from Michael Jacobs down in Long Island. He's big into body. He hired an engineer, a body engineer, to work with him. And so this guy quit his job, and now he works with Michael all the time on a golf swing. And they produce these videos, and he's excellent at what he does. I think that most people try to attach the golf ball with the club rather than attaching the golf club to them and make the golf club part of them. They try and hit the ball with the golf club. Whereas if they understood how the club interacts with their body and how it moves, like we talked about today, then they would have a better chance to develop a skill of how to put the club on the ball. That's the number one skill, by the way. The number one skill is, can you put the center of the face on the golf ball? That's the number one skill in golf. Because if you can do that, I can teach you path, I can teach other things. But if you can't put the club on the ball, we keep doing it till you can. That's it.
I actually want to ask you this question, like, not like what would you be doing if you didn't have golf, but like, is golf a game where it kind of chooses you instead of you choosing golf? Like, is that like, it's a very deep question to ask, but like, does this game kind of choose you, or do you kind of go out and seek it?
It's funny, if you look at golf has a religious quality about it, in a sense, a spiritual quality about it, because it is you, it is life, it is, I screwed this up, I did this, how do I fix that? So it's constant problem solving in that regard. But once you get into it, it's like you can't quite get away from it. It pulls on you, it pulls on you, pulls on you. In a sense, I've never seen anything pull on people before. I mean, some people get into it and they just can't let it go. And which is a good thing. And it used to be a little bit different back in the, say, 40s, 50s, 60s, because people were new to the game after the war and everything else. But get into the 60s, 70s, Arnold Palmer, that's when it exploded. Yeah. You can say Tiger, right.
Arnie's Army.
Arnie, Jack.
Changed everything, yeah. It kind of brought it more mainstream. Like, so that was probably like the first big explosion of golf here in the States, was that Nicklaus, Palmer kind of generation. And then, I mean, I think Tiger gets so much to help this next generation. Like, look at every golfer that's coming up through it. They're all working out, they're all doing these different things. But I mean, that first wave really happened with Arnie and Jack.
Yeah, it happened. It was an elitist sport for so long. Yeah. So back in those days, Winged Foot, Marion, all of that. But then once people in the 60s and 70s saw Arnie do it, and he developed this, public golf grew, the interest in the game grew, it exploded at that point. Yeah. And then it reached a height, and then it waned a little bit, and then Tiger came along. And once again, but it's Tiger, equipment, hitting it long, all those things, athletic.
So what was your introduction to the game?
My introduction to the game, my dad was a police officer, and he played on his off days. He loved the game. And I played a little bit of basketball in high school, wasn't very tall, but I could play golf once I got introduced to it. I caddied at Furnace Brook up in Quincy. Started there, and I grew a love for the game because I got paid for caddying, for one thing, but I tended to caddy for the good players, and I'd read the greens for them, and I'd learn from them. So my introduction was watching good players in the 60s hit the ball, and loving Palmer, loving all these other guys, watching them play golf. It was a love affair, and I could do it because I wasn't a big kid. I've never been able to, lift weights or do all that other stuff and get strong, but I could play golf. And so it was something I could do, I identified with. It got me into college, played college golf. Said I wanted to play, played for a while, tried to qualify, PGA Tour, didn't, said I wanted to stay in the game. So I got jobs, and then I started to teach, and it evolved from there.
What was the grind to kind of make it a professional job, like from a playing perspective? Like, do you, I mean, you deal with players every single day who are at that level as well too. Like, what mentally did it take out of you to try and pursue that as a full-time career?
Yeah, I guess I was an introvert as a kid, still am an introvert to some extent, but it brought me out, it brought a social aspect of where I could help these people, at the club, and I could help them play better and everything else, and I enjoyed that. So I enjoyed the interaction, me with people and everything else. It really helped me. And as that grew, and I got lucky and went to work for Craig Harmon up at Oak Hill in 1978. Then that exploded because I was in the Harmon tree, so to speak, and it was Craig, and then I went to work with Dick, and I got to know Mr. Harmon, I got to know Butch, Billy, all this, caddied on tour. So it's always been a love affair of the game and the people. involved. It's always about the people. You don't play golf. I don't play golf for a score anymore. I play golf because I want to play with people. Yeah, and that's brings people together. I play with a friend of mine. I went to lunch with him yesterday. We've been together now for, we figured 63 years.
Of playing golf.
Yeah,
Wow.
63 years.
Wow.
And we still play.
That's amazing. It's a lifetime game, I think.
Yeah, it's a lifetime with, I've got people I've got a good client, Walter, he walks in here, he's 88, he hits balls for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, 88 years old, trying to get
that's
better.
what we all want to happen, right? We
Yeah.
all want to be able to play this thing for as long as we can. And I think when you get to a certain level, you're like, I'd like to pursue it. But I think when I was a sports writer and you see the grind that these young guys are going through to try and reach a certain level, and you know what it takes to reach a PGA Tour level, like it's a different animal. And it's a hard lifestyle. It can be very grinding on people too.
Yes.
So from a mental standpoint, like how do you work with a player, but also like as somebody who played at a fairly high level, like how did you manage your mental piece to the game as well too?
Yeah, this is one kid I work with. He's 26 now. Excuse me. So he's 26. Good player. He's missed getting out of second stage the last 2 years by just a couple of shots. So that's frustrating. He's 26 years old. What do I do? Do I keep going? What do I do? And so I think he's talented enough, and I said, it's up to you. Do you have the wherewithal to stay with it a little bit longer? Are you going to regret letting it go at this age? But I think you have to set boundaries. I had another kid who was good. He did it for a year and a half, and he said, that's enough. And now he's got a beautiful job, and he plays golf, and he won the state amateur. He's a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There it is. It's
But mentally,
yeah.
I don't care what level you're at. If you believe in yourself, you can play. Belief in yourself, trust in yourself, belief and trust. The ability, as Greg Carton, a sports psychologist, said, he said, if you have two things, if you can forget what just happened and you can be nice to yourself, you can succeed. You can't beat yourself up all the time. And most people, they come in and take a look, they're beating themselves up, well, I'm giving them a lesson. They go, no, hey, this is fun. We're having a good time here, that type of thing. So it's getting them to understand that nobody conquers this game. Nobody. Tiger came close.
He did. 2000.
Jack Nicklaus came close.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of why I wrote this book too, and I think you had a front row seat to basically the maturation of level par. Is maybe that you didn't know me when I was going through my struggles of like, never really getting to where I wanted to get to in the game. And I think that's kind of what I came to you for. But I think that's what I wanted to convey in the book, and I think that you need to have people who believe in you.
Right.
You need to have teachers around you, and it's not a game that you can conquer by yourself as well too.
No.
And I think that's like, it lends to why having a coach in your corner is who can see things a little differently than you do is such an important piece to golf, and that's why your profession is so important to helping people kind of move into the places where they want to get to. But as you saw, kind of as you read level par and as you kind of read your character basically and my character, like, did you resonate with that there's a million stories like that are out there in the golf world?
Oh, it's crazy. As I had my 88-year-old I was talking about, he said, I fired my psychiatrist, I got you. So they open up. See, when you're in a mutual situation, and you both know that it's a struggle and everything else, there becomes a common ground there that really is important. I mean, I can help people once I can get to that level, because I can say, oh, shut up. Just do what I tell you to do, you'll get better. Because they get down on themselves, and maybe they've had problems in the past, whether it be, having a temper or anything like that. We work through that and saying, what are you playing this for? Why are you doing this? And they come to a common understanding of, it's because I have friends, it's because I want to get better at the game and I want to have fun. It's fun. If you make it that way, you can make it a chore. Don't do that if you can help it. I've done that many times in my life.
Yeah.
I've gone through that. You've gone through that.
Sure.
Everybody goes through that phase where they go, I'm going to work harder. No. Gear back. Yeah.
Gear back and focus on the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah. You had kind of talked about just recently, like people who have struggled with things to get to where they want to go, and that's a lot of what Level Par is all about. But have you ever worked with a player that maybe had like a turnaround in his or her life where you kind of noticed like the game was helping them get to a place where they wanted to get to? I mean, I'm sure it's happened multiple times over your lifetime in the game, but is there somebody that sticks out to you, or a situation that sticks out to you where you're like, I saw this person go from here to here, and then they went here because their life was just changed by stuff that was happening through this game?
I'll tell you where I see it. I see it. I worked with a lot of juniors. And what I see is the parents have expectations, and the kids trying to live up to the expectations. Now, I never had that with my dad, thank God. But I see that, and then I go, remember, the minute you reach 14 or 15 and you're working on your game, you own it. It's yours. It's yours. And I've seen them grow that way, where they own it. It's theirs. It's like their territory, and they're going to succeed because of this. And sure, they need their dad to manage and the mom to get them here and there, but they own it. And the more they own it, you can see them come out. They start to mature. Girls are better than boys. Way better than boys at maturing like that and everything else. They want to take ownership. Boys, a little bit less in that regard. But when they do it, you see a blossoming sometimes of they get in college and all of a sudden, I can do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when they get away, and I'm not blaming parents. I mean, I've got parents, we all got parents. I'm not blaming them, but when they get away, they have something to hang on to. I can, go to class, I'm a smart kid, and I can play golf, and I'm mature, and hey, I'm having a heck of a 4 years. I tell them that. You're going to have a heck of a 4 years if you prepare. That's what I try and get them to do.
So the last kind of questions I want to kind of ask is more about the book itself. Is like, I think you and I have talked about maybe your like not so official review of it, but if you had like a review of Level Par, because you were one of the first ones to read even the very first. I think I gave it to you as a PDF before even, I gave it to you in sections for the most part. But what was your take on it after you read it? And
well, it was interesting because it was reflective about anything that you've gone through in your life. There's a period where you could go this way or that way, and then what would happen to you if you'd gone for the dark side, so to speak, instead of in the other direction. And I see that with people, and what I see in the book is this quality of not giving up, always having this optimism. No matter how deep you go in anything else and how bad it gets, there's always that bottom where you can come up. So I see that in this book about the redemption quality, but the game itself and how it plays a part in bringing people together, and they have a commonness about a common goal with the game, and a thread in there that's great. And I love stories like that. I read a lot. So I read a lot of books, and I get into authors that really get good narratives on struggle. And everybody struggles.
Yeah.
Nobody's immune to that.
Agreed.
I mean, I work with young guys in their 20s and 30s, and they lost their game, and they're trying to get it back. And you can see the agony on their face and everything else. And you don't know what it does to them and drives them, and what it did to this person in the book, and how it drove him in that direction, and how he's able to come out of that a little bit because of the game.
Yeah.
Without the game, who knows what would have happened? He might have met the right person. But because he had that thread, that was important to him. And I think that's important to people about this game. There's always somebody there to help you. There's a redemptive quality about, I'll play better tomorrow. I can look forward to it. I haven't lost it. Things like that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of threads in there that go through a lot of, but it's as I said before, it's life, it's struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't give every lesson's not great.
Right. Yeah.
We fail.
Yeah.
We succeed, and it bugs me to no end to go home and go, what did I do? What could I have done better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just remember when I first came to you a couple years ago, and I basically wrote it the way that Jake experienced it in the book too. Is like, you started off as simple as like, hit chips with your left hand, hit chips with your right hand. And I couldn't do the left-hand thing for the. Right. I still can't do it to this day. I still move forward instead of. But we worked on that today on like how to kind of change those things. But it's a lifelong work. But I think that what I tried to convey in Jake's story and how he interacted with Tom, his coach, was that it was not going to be easy, and this was not something that was going to take 4 lessons. This was going to have to be an everyday thing. And when you are struggling with something, it is an everyday thing. It's not something where, for 3 weeks I'm gonna eat right, sleep right, not drink, do this, do that, and I'm gonna feel good. But what about the 49 other weeks that are in the year?
Exactly.
So, so like I appreciate you as a coach and like what we've been able to kind of accomplish here, but also to be a catalyst for helping me write this book and how we've interacted has been such an important piece to me. So I just wanted to say thank you for that.
What's interesting about that is you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
When you touch someone.
Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah. I appreciate it. So, and that's probably why it keeps you coming back to teach.
Yeah, because it's a thing where, and you've asked Tiger, if you asked him the question, he's still working on stuff he worked on as a kid.
Yeah.
He's still doing the same stuff. Nicholas would do the same things.
Yeah.
But he would seek out people, Jack Grout, Phil Rogers, people like that, who believed in him, could infuse him with that. Yeah. See, we're always looking for that. It's like you go to the store down Derby, you get an IV, you feel better. It's like an IV. We're coming in here, we need to feel a little bit better about ourselves and our game. That's my job.